Hello, welcome to the Third and 10 podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Nguyen. Thank you for stopping by and supporting our show. Here's what's on the agenda for today. First, we talked about the NBA playoffs and what's going on in the West and Eastern Conference Finals. Then we talked about Aaron Rodgers and if he should retire as a Packer after his recent comments in regards to that. We also discussed the Mets and how they took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers this past weekend. And we end the show with some NHL talk, college football talk, and Caitlin Clark as well in regards to her injury that will keep her out for some time. Again, you can follow us on all of our social media at 3010 Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and YouTube as well. And you can find the audio version of this podcast on Spotify too. And just thank you for your support. We appreciate it. Thank you for just watching us in general. And without further ado, let's get started. So Indiana up 2-1 against the Knicks. They had a chance to be up 3-0. However, the Knicks did win 106-100 in Game 3. It was
third 20-point comeback of the playoffs this year.
Yeah, Indiana was up. I think they were up by 20 at one point in the first half. But the Knicks came all the way back.
This series was over.
It was
halfway through the second half.
Yeah.
I'm texting people. I'm like, we're done. It's at best it'll be a gentleman's sweep. Let's just focus on next year. Have fun in the finals, Pacers.
Yeah. But sometimes all you need is to depend on your bench. And Tom Thibodeau for once was like, all right, let's play some bench guys and see how this. I know because he just never plays his bench.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a 36-20 outscoring of the Pacers in the fourth quarter. Brunson actually was not part of that fourth quarter as much. I
foul trouble, which we got to get into because Brunson, this series has been a lot of foul trouble. We saw it in Game 1, how I think he had 4 personal fouls, and it kind of led to the Pacers. He wasn't playing as hard on defense because they wanted the fouls. Again, in a 20 point, even he came back, but I feel more Knicks fans be comfortable in their comeback had Brunson been out there. So if the Knicks want to win tonight, their big thing is do not get into foul troubles. We need Brunson out there.
No, 100%. Yeah, Brunson 2 minutes, 6 points in that fourth quarter. So he didn't contribute too much, but it was literally just Cat who played well in that fourth quarter, led the charge for the Knicks. Guys like McBride, Bridges, all those guys stepped up when it mattered most, and they got the win in Game 3.
Well, that's why we went out and got Cat. So if Brunson has an off night, or if he takes, if he's in foul trouble, he's supposed to step up and be that next guy. That's why we brought in Bridges, OG. We haven't seen a lot from OG, and I'm kind of upset with him. But from the way Cat has stepped up, he's the perfect guy to have alongside Brunson. He picks up the slack where Brunson kind of can, if he gets into foul trouble, which he has, not performed like we've seen him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In terms of the Pacers themselves, like I mentioned, they were up 58-45 at the half with a lead that got as high as 20. But, that second half was just a mess for them as they would end up blowing it at the end of the day. So this series has been all the games in this series have been decided by single digits. So it's been honestly a close series throughout.
I think Friday's a little misleading because Friday I never felt confident Knicks were going to win that game. Just watching it, the way it unfolded, it just never felt like they were going to take. The Pacers were playing with so much enthusiasm after the way they won Game 1 that we just kind of felt like we kept it close, but at the end of the day, we're always going to lose that game. We never could just get that big run in us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Pacers won Game 2, 114-109. Siakam had 39 points in that game on Friday. Brunson played well in that game too, but Pacers would pull away at the end of the day. And in Game 1, we saw the Knicks fall as well with the final score of 138-135. But that game was decided in OT. So it's been a fun series to watch, honestly, between these two teams. Like I mentioned, I know, looks may be deceiving, but at the end of the day, all 3 of these games have been decided by single digits. So in your opinion, is this series going to be tied up by the end of tonight? We are recording this on a Tuesday, so we won't find out until Thursday what happens. But what do you think?
I unfortunately don't. Like, the Knicks fan in me says yes, but just the way watching it, the way the Knicks have kind of played, they've kind of looked flat in certain spots. Like, after they took that big lead in game one and they blew it, there's been a tone shift. Momentum's on the Pacers side, and maybe that 20-point comeback against the Pacers in game three kind of reminded us that, hey, we still are a good team and shook it up. But I feel like the Knicks are going to have to play a perfect game of basketball in order to beat the Pacers, because this is a Pacers team that was embarrassed on their home court. They're going to want to make a statement, and they've proven that they can beat the Knicks pretty handily. So I think this is a Pacers win. I think they go 3-1 going back to the Garden. But if the Knicks can win this and tie the series up at 2, they are right where I wanted them to be. Now it's a best of 2 series, go in 2 games to the Garden. If they win tonight, I am very confident win this series in 7.
Okay. Yeah, not to be a hater, I do think, like the Knicks played great in game 3. They came all the way back, but you can't put yourself in that hole constantly.
Yeah, no.
And be like, okay, we're down 20. Let's turn it on now. You got to come out firing. For them to be down 20 and still win at the end of the day in game 3 was just unbelievable. It was great for them, but still not not where you want to be. So I do think Indiana does pull off and the winning game 4 tonight. However, if Cat does step up like he did in game 3, I do think the Knicks will tie the series up, because he's been when he's on, the Knicks are good.
He's on. When he's on, he's on.
Yeah, because Brunson's great. We know what we can get from, what we usually get from him besides from his game 3 performance. It really depends on Cat, because he is that second star. They did trade for him for a reason. In the past, he had Julius Randle, who I have a I'm very upset at him. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But you trade Randle for a guy like Cat, to be that second star, because Randle couldn't get the job done. So you bring a guy like Cat, and there's times where Cat isn't aggressive, and Shaq talked about it on the Inside the NBA show, where he was like, when it comes to being a big man, you got to be aggressive in the paint. Like, sure, you're a stretch 5, and that's what Cat is. He's a guy who can hit threes sometimes, but you are 6'11", 7 foot for a reason. Get into the paint, be aggressive. Miles Turner isn't that, bigger than you. No. So just, back him down and get yours. So I do think if Cat's aggressive tonight in game 4, I think the Knicks will pull it off. But as for the Pacers, man, you can't, you're up by 20 at half. You got to keep your pedal to the metal. It's as simple as that if we're going to win game 4. But I do think Indiana does pull it off here.
Yeah, no, I think so too.
Yeah, so, yeah. Indiana up 2-1 at this point in time. On Thursday, we'll find out if the series is tied up or the Pacers go back to New York up 3 games. 2-1. As for the series in the West,
the
Thunder are up.
It's over.
It's over. OKC up 3-1 now after a 128-126 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Shea became the 5th player in history to drop 40, 10, and 9 in the conference finals in the NBA history. So congrats to him. Jalen Williams had 34 points. Chet had 21 points to lead the Thunder to victory and push the Timberwolves to the brink. The more important thing is on the Minnesota side, where Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle put up 16 and 5 points respectively, which is absolutely terrible for the 2 best players on that team.
So people calling Anthony Edwards the face of the league, how he can't face criticism. Bro, I could think of 15 players I'd rather have than Anthony Edwards right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's just like, we're not hating on the guy. It's just that he's...
He came up flat in a must-win spot. You dominated Oklahoma on, was it Wednesday? No. Saturday. You dominated them on Saturday night. That was your spot. You're up, I think you beat them by, 40? You embarrassed them. The momentum's now swung back to you. You have to win a game 4. And then what you do? You let the big 3 to Thunder take over that game, and you had nothing to respond to it by. You had put up 16 points. You can't do that in a winner-take-all, in like a must-win game like that.
Yeah, Minnesota was so good in game 2. They won 143-101, like you mentioned. They shot 57% from the field. However, in game 3, not so much there. They shot, they did shoot 51%. But guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, DiVincenzo, and McDaniels were the ones who stepped up.
And those are nice players, but
yes,
they can't lead you in a playoff game like that.
You need your stars to step up.
Edwards can't
Simple
go
as that.
5 for 13 from the field. He can't go 1 for 7 on threes. He has to hit those.
Yeah, you need your stars to step up, and he didn't. And I'm tired of Julius Randle, man. I'm tired of him, dude.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that we saw with the Knicks, man.
He's
just inconsistent. And you know him more than I do.
That's why I was so happy just moving on from him.
Yeah.
Like, granted, I have a lot of revisionist history with the Cat trade. I love it now. But at the time, I didn't love it at the time, not because of getting rid of Randle, just because how Cat fit on the team. But I was like, you know what? We got rid of Randle. That's an upside for us because he just disappears in the playoffs. Now, granted, that role has been filled by OG Anunoby, and I would like him off the team too. But it's not going to happen with a $200 million contract. But if it's Randle, who just gets a lot of the heat, Edwards needs a lot more heat on him because if those guys just basically hit half of the shots they made. So let's say, Edwards goes 3 for 7, and Randle goes 1 for 3 from the 3-point line, and Randle also puts up like 6 more points because he hits 3 more shots. The Wolves are going back to Oklahoma City, tied at 2-2.
They lost by 2.
This is a game where your stars failed you, Minnesota. That's how you lost. Your stars failed you. And that's going to be a big question this offseason of, well, if these guys aren't going to perform, do we really have the depth and the pieces around them to make up for it? And right now, you don't.
They lost by 2. You literally just need a couple buckets from either one of your stars, especially with Julius. Julius had 5 points.
Yeah, man. Randle, you cannot be putting – if you're a superstar or one of the faces of the team, you can't put up 5 points in a must-win performance like that.
And he's been great. Julius has been great throughout these whole playoffs.
He's been a complete different player in the playoffs. I'm like, man, if this was the guy the Knicks had, the Knicks probably win a championship. But this is the Randle we all know and gotten used to. This is the Randle that got himself traded out of New York. This is the Randle that comes up short and will continue to come up short in playoff games.
So far in this series, he's had 28 points, 6 points, 24 points, and 5 points. So based off the history, he should bounce back next game.
Doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter. You're down 3-1.
You can't have up and down.
You're in Oklahoma. Shea has gotten the confidence because he had 40 the other night. Chet had a great game the other night. And Jalen Williams has had himself like a complete revival this playoff. I feel like he's been himself a household name.
Who? You said Chet?
No, Chet and Jay Williams.
Oh, Jay Williams. Jalen Williams has definitely on that OKC team been the second star basically, and he's definitely at times helped taking the load off Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who's been. And yes, we can clown him for his free throws and all that stuff, but at the end of it, he is the MVP. I know his free throws is what makes him frustrating to watch at times because no one really touches them as much, but he still gets to the line, which is ridiculous.
I'm sorry, if you're putting up 40 in a game.
If you take away the free throws, he still puts up 28, 30 points. So, he's a good player, man. He really is. And
he's a great player. He should be the franchise icon in Oklahoma City. He's going to be the face of this dynasty that we're about to see from the Thunder if all goes right.
Yeah, and shout out to Mark Daigneault, man, the head coach. He's been quietly, just leading. I'm not sure they announced Coach of the Year yet in the NBA, but he's someone that should win the award. I know Shea's been great on all the other guys on that team.
He won MVP. He's been amazing.
Yeah, all the players are good on that team, but Daigneault has done an incredible job just managing everything, leading the team to the best record in the West. So shout out to him, man. He's done a hell of a job.
My buddy texted me, this is a couple of games ago. He's a big Thunder fan. When they were at the 90-game mark, including playoffs, 60 of their 90 games were decided by double digits. And they had won by double digits in 60 of those games.
And what does that mean? Dominance. They're just good. They're that good.
They were missing Chet Holmgren for majority of this season. So imagine this team healthy over an entire NBA season. A lot can happen this offseason, and we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but
yes,
I see a world where this Thunder team challenges the 2016 Warriors for that title of regular season victories.
Hey, you just never know.
It's never know, but the Thunder won 68 games this year. They only need to win 5 more games, and a healthy Chet alone makes you better.
The fact that Chet was out and they still won a good amount of games, or had one of the best records ever in NBA history, that just goes to show how just deep this team is. Because even when Chet was out, Isaiah Hartenstein, who I love Isaiah Hartenstein, like he's
so they have such great role players.
They do.
Caruso, Hartenstein,
Isaiah Joe's a great three-point shooter.
Dort's great now and then.
Yes, there's so many guys on that roster that can step up and contribute off the bench. So, and post game they're always fun to watch as well.
Oh yeah, it's a young team. That's what we forget. Yes. This is the youngest team in the NBA.
They're a young team that just loves to have fun, and they know when to be serious at times, but they also know how to have fun, man. And they're having a lot of fun in these playoffs as they are up 3-1. It's going to be hard for Minnesota to come back. Even if they win Game 5, they have to win 3 straight. Let's be honest, it's hard to win 3 straight than 1. Yes, it's harder to win 3 straight than win 1. So, congrats to OKC.
Oklahoma has been next to impossible to beat at home this playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Like I think they've only lost 1 playoff game, and that was that miracle that Denver had to pull off in the first game of the second round.
Yeah, I'm looking at I'm trying to look at the standings right now for the NBA this season, if I can find it, which seems to be a struggle at this point in time. But
the Thunder have only lost 1 game at home, and it was a 121-119 thriller. Took on a miracle to win that game. So you don't go to Oklahoma City, you're not winning in that building.
No, it's just too tough. It's tough to do. So, but yeah, OKC overall, 35-6 at home in the regular season, and you mentioned they only lost 1 game at home in the playoffs, so it's pretty much wrapped. So we might as well just say congrats to the Timberwolves on a great season, man. Not to be a hater, but it's just hard to come back 3-1. That's why when you're down 2-1, game 4s are so critical, because either you lose that game, you might as well just wrap it up, because unless you're LeBron James and the Cavs, man, you don't come back down 3-1. You just can't.
And the way Edwards and Randall have played, there's no heroic comeback coming.
Yeah, and it's not Jordan. I'm sorry, not yet at all. So, alrighty, my friend. Any other NBA stuff that you want to mention for any of these series?
No, that's pretty much covers it.
All right. So, as we're recording this, so today was Game 4 of the Knicks and Pacers. We'll see what happens there, and we'll talk about that more on Thursday. And we should see the Timberwolves and Thunder wrap things up by Thursday as well, barring, a comeback from the Wolves. And, that just extends the series a little longer, but it's not going to change our minds. Thunder are going to take it. So, a little bit of football news. We will talk about Aaron Rodgers in just a bit, but some punter news for those of you, because I don't feel like we give punters enough love. AJ Cole and the Raiders.
We talk about McAfee a lot.
Sometimes I feel like I don't. Maybe you have in the past, but I personally haven't talked too much about punters. But AJ Cole and the Raiders agreed to a 4-year, $15.8 million extension. So congrats to him. The 3-time Pro Bowler. First team All-Pro, averaged 48.6 yards per punt and 42.1 net yards per punt in 100 games so far in his career, and 44.9% of his kicks have landed inside the 20-yard line. So in simpler terms, he's a really good punter who knows how to pin opposing teams back on their side of the field. So congrats to him. Don't know if you have anything to add there.
I just don't feel like, in my opinion, you don't pay punters. So this is kind of a bad deal. But shout out for getting a bag. I'm not gonna disrespect someone for getting paid. I just don't think a team should pay a punter.
Oh yeah. Remember when we signed Graham Gano?
Yes.
Well, we re-signed Graham Gano, I should say, and then I think it was 2 games. Yeah, 2 games in.
2 games in.
Got injured against Washington, and then we didn't have a kicker, and then we went for 2 all the time. We lost the Commanders that way. Yeah. Washington, we have a kicker.
Do we have a kicker?
Okay. Honestly, that's literally the one thing I didn't like that we didn't address this offseason was a kicker. Because we addressed everything else on the Giants. except the kicker, which is fine because I get you re-sign a kicker, so there's no point in getting another kicker. But like, Graham Gano isn't as good as he used to be. He was great in those first 2 years with us, and he kind of just fell off afterwards.
He's 38 years old. Like he's very towards the very end of his career.
Yeah. So maybe this is the last year we get. I mean, we do have another guy.
Yes. Carter Camp.
There's another kicker we have too.
Judd McAckney from Rutgers.
We'll see what he does in the preseason. Maybe he'll stand out or something.
He could. I mean, Gano could be a cut candidate.
Yeah, who knows? I will say I have been watching a lot of. So I'm still working on the Fast and Furious series. I promise. And all the other movies and stuff. It's gotta, when I watch movies, I want to sit there and like pay attention.
Yeah, no, you want to like watch it and like.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the guys from the corner booth are recommending me to watch it, and while I'm working, but I'm like, it's not the same, So I want to like.
No, because you're not paying attention.
Exactly. Yesterday, after I was off work and planning our notes for today, I was watching the NFL's NFL blind quarterback moments, and I saw 3 Giants quarterbacks that were mentioned,
or 3 Giants quarterbacks was on that list.
Well, I saw 3 clips in that video, and I was already just super funny because like. Obviously, on the field, you sometimes do miss the open receiver, but like when they show the replay and you see like a guy just streaking down the field and you don't see him, that's just like, damn, that could have been a big play. So 3 of the clips that were in the video were Giants related. One of them was the Giants versus Panthers game where I think, do you remember it was like a flea flicker that we ran against Carolina? I think it was in Germany. In Germany.
Yes.
And it was Neighbors and Wandale. Yeah, it was like low key like PA crossers, and Wandale was the one going like deep down the field. And once Jones got sacked, he started jumping up and down like a little kid having a tantrum. And I was just like, damn, thank God he's off our team. Jones is. And there's another scenario where it was Giants versus Bucks versus Giants during the COVID year, where Jones.
Was that against Brady? Was that when the lineman caught a touchdown for the Bucks?
Yeah, that was
Jason Garrett's last game. That was the Monday night game.
Yes, it was. I remember it was on ESPN. Yeah, there was that moment too where Jones missed a guy.
That was Jason Garrett's last game as OC because that was so embarrassing.
Can you believe how excited I was when we hired him as our OC?
I wasn't.
I was. Shoot, we had.
I was not excited at all. This is a major mistake.
No, I thought of course he was.
No, I watched him for 10 years in Dallas. I'm like, this is a bad idea.
Listen, I just thought he was a former head coach for Dallas, right? And he was a pretty good offensive play caller in some ways, shapes, and forms. And I'm just like, maybe with us, he'll be good. And he wasn't, of course, but it was good in the moment, in my opinion. But that's just me being too positive, man. But I love our coaching staff right now, except our DC. I do have some gripes with Shane Bowen, but just want to go off topic for a little bit. I've watched a lot of NFL videos. Mm-hmm. However, the main NFL headline, if we were going to talk about today, that if we're going to talk about anything NFL related, I should say, it's going to be this topic. Aaron Rodgers is unsure if he wants to retire a Green Bay Packer. And it was kind of interesting, just his response, because he was at an event where fans were able to ask him questions and he would answer them and all those things. And someone asked him if he was going to retire a Packer, but he was saying how he's unsure if he did decide not to retire as a Packer, if that would change anything actually I should say if he were to retire a Packer, he's not sure if doing so will change the way he's viewed.
It wouldn't.
In that Packers organization or just as a Packer as a whole.
It wouldn't, because those one-day contracts are pretty forgotten. They're forgotten pretty fast.
Oh, yeah. He spent 18 seasons there, for those of you who don't know, won a Super Bowl in 2011. He's a franchise leader in passing touchdowns. He's second in yards behind the other great Packers quarterback in Brett Favre.
He's got a Netflix documentary about him.
That's right. Hey, because he do the didn't he do something?
Yeah, he defrauded the state of Mississippi.
Very nice.
A bunch of people on welfare.
Yes. And this is off to
it was to build a volleyball court.
Yeah. Which he did put put towards a good cause, but like to defraud the whole state.
Defraud the state of Mississippi.
Come on, bud.
I
So,
cannot wait. I'm watching that. I got that scheduled for tonight. Cannot wait to watch that.
ooh, maybe I should watch that too. Since if you're gonna watch it, I should watch it. We'll talk about Thursday.
Yeah, I think that's like the big. That's the big Untold. This like Untold every year feels like they have like a headline documentary. That's gonna be like their headliner this year. Like last year was Manziel. 2 years ago it was Manti Te'o.
Yeah,
This
I
is
love
like
Manziel.
I think the big one is this one.
Talk about Manziel, man. A guy who just literally just was drinking and having parties and stuff. Wake up the next day, beats Alabama, and it's simple as that. I think my favorite Untold so far is the most recent one, Shooting Guards.
I've seen it. I've seen trailers. I'm like, I cannot wait to watch this. I'm gonna watch like all the Untold tonight. I think just watch them all one shot.
Little marathon, huh? I like it. Did you see? Have you seen the Steve McNair one? That's low-key sad.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yes, that one's sad.
Yeah. Do you think she killed him though? The one that the chick? I feel like it was someone else. I don't know. So the ending was just so abrupt. Like
they just like wait, I need like another like hour.
Yeah, give me some context, bro. Like yeah. Oh no, but Netflix does an incredible job with their Untold series. So shout out to them. So
except
you
for
know what? I will watch that for
Swamp Kings. That sucked.
Oh, with the Florida Gators. I haven't seen that one.
Don't waste your time.
No. Avoid that one.
It could have been so great because that team is like has so many untold stories, and they didn't touch Aaron Hernandez. They barely mentioned the Pouncey twins. Like
what?
It was basically like a fluff piece for Urban Meyer or Tim Tebow. It's like if you're gonna tell a story of that team, Aaron Hernandez and the Pouncey twins are like two of the main guys to talk about. This Percy Harvin's incident. I think they maybe like briefly mentioned Cam Newton, but like not at all. Like someone needs to go in and redo that documentary because whatever we got on Netflix is not what we want.
Not it.
No. Actually, Jack McCarthy of Barstool did a 35-minute like what the Untold didn't tell you. Go watch that. That's incredible.
That one feels like it's more worthy to watch.
Because that one, he like will go in like, okay, they didn't touch this, and he gives you like articles and like this is what was going on.
He's doing what Netflix should have done. So
yeah, well, the problem is they got Urban Meyer and like they couldn't ask Urban Meyer hard questions, so the entire documentary had to be softball.
It's dumb. Whatever. Oh, sorry. The most recent Untold I watched was the Michigan one, the stealing science.
Oh, Science Stealer. Science Stealer.
I like how Ohio State or Michigan was blaming Ohio State, and Ohio State was like low-key blaming Michigan. It's all.
That's the rivalry. That's the rivalry.
Man, shoot. Yeah, but like I guess we all do. I mean, colleges they all steal science. Just
they all do.
Michigan.
It's why teams weren't overly outraged when the Astros kind of got a slap on the wrist because like we're all doing it.
We're all doing. I will say, shout out to that guy though. What's his? I literally watched a documentary. I forgot his name. Jake.
John Boy.
Who's the guy that sold the signs or sold the signals for Michigan?
Oh my God! What's this? Oh my God!
This is terrible. I literally just watched it like 2 weeks ago. This is terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Connor Stallions.
Thank you, Stallions. The level of commitment.
Oh my God, it's insane.
He did recording videos and making signals, he did so much traveling on his own budget to Michigan games to help that commitment, dude. So props to him.
While he was in the Army or maybe in the Marines, he was in some branch of the military, still active duty.
Yeah,
and doing all that.
That's commitment, man. And honestly, I know he got in trouble and everything and whatever, but look, for him to, like I said, pay out of his own pocket to do certain things while he's still, doing, on active duty and, spending hours and hours of watching film, doing a job that no one else would do, props to him. Yeah, we went off topic there with our Untold series experiences, but in terms of Aaron Rodgers, being unsure if he's going to retire as a Packer, do you think he should truly retire if they asked him to as a Packer, or do you feel like that messy? Because he did, let's be honest, he did have a messy breakup with them towards the end of his Packers career. What do you think he should do? I guess
I don't think he should retire Packer because it should be like just a one-day media circus, and I just don't really see those one-day contracts as meaning anything. Like I just see it as like a meaningless job. I know the idea is nice behind it, but they're just so forgettable. Like, I'm going to remember Aaron Rodgers if he retires. He retired a Jet. Tom Brady retired a Buccaneer. Peyton Manning retired a Bronco. I don't care if they signed a 1-year deal with the Patriots or the Colts or the Packers. They retired the team they last took the field for. So I just kind of see it as just a meaningless gesture.
Yeah. And I agree with it. I think, especially with him too, like he's just that type of guy that just doesn't care. Like, yeah, sure, like if he ends his career today, if he just ends his career today, sure, we're all be like, oh, like it's sad, like another, old quarterback's gone. But for him, it's just like,
all right, I'm gonna go do drugs and like go to
other things. Yeah, ayahuasca, go different places, and he's that type of guy where it's like once he finishes his career, he'll just disappear and no one will remember him.
He'll pop up every now and then and be like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, they'll like hope he's okay, but other than that, it's just like, okay, well, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers, cool.
Yeah,
and that is okay sad because it's like he is one of the best quarterbacks ever in NFL history. Like he didn't win a Super Bowl too, so he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. It's just he's that type of guy. He just doesn't really care.
He's a great football player, but like a questionable person
off the field. Yeah, he just doesn't care as much. And
but not in a fun way. Like Jay Cutler didn't care. Like he just doesn't care about anything that's not himself. Jay Cutler was just a relaxed, chill guy.
So, I think the Packers will go up to him, even with the messy breakup they had with him, towards the end of that Packers career and everything like that, to retire. And honestly, he did say he probably would if they asked him to. And, did and signed that 1-day contract. But honestly, I think if I'm him, I would just retire today and just not do anything. Like, don't even if the Packers hit you up, just be like, yeah, thanks, but like, I don't know, we did have a messy breakup towards the end. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is why this is the fact that we're talking about this just shows there's just literally no NFL to discuss. Like, there's literally nothing. We're talking about if a guy should retire as with a certain team or not. That's how. That's how
it's not a 1-day contract. The dumbest thing in all of sports.
Yeah. Thank God July's coming up, man. I can't wait to do our division previews.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. If there's any Giants headlines, it's that Jackson Dart doesn't want to pay too much money for number 2 because I guess he wanted to, but Deontay Banks was.
Yeah, I did see that. I don't know. Who cares?
I know. See, it's
a number.
Just move on to baseball. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the baseball field, man. But yeah, the Mets, man, they did salvage a series against the Dodgers. Shout out to your boys for winning it on Sunday Night Baseball. I will say it is very, very heartwarming what ESPN did.
That was the only good thing ESPN did that entire night because they had one good inning of the Lindor and his wife interview, and then 8 innings of listening to Carl Ravitch and David Cohn and Eduardo Perez sound like absolute morons for 2 hours. I cannot listen to them. They are so bad at their jobs.
I know.
And maybe I'm a little more upset because it's like the Yankee stuff was just last week, and they're a big reason why it spiraled out of control was because of them. And then we were on nationally broadcast games Friday and Saturday night, which, like, shout out to Wayne Randazzo and I forgot D-Train. They actually did a good job for the Apple broadcast. I don't think Joe Davis did terrible on Saturday. It just kind of sucks. He has that bias towards Dodgers. Dodgers play-by-play guy. I expect it. But just the product ESPN puts out there is miserable. It's so bad. And it's across the board. Everyone goes, no, these guys do not know what they're talking about.
They just don't. They are good. The NBA commentators are fine. The NFL, when they do Thursday, when they do Monday Night Football with Joe Buck, that's fine.
Yeah, because you got Joe Buck. Joe Buck's the voice of our childhoods.
But baseball, they are trash. Yeah. I don't care if
Carl Ravitch still has not come out and apologized for completely making up a story about Juan Soto to make him look bad.
I know this.
And like they're talking about the Soto shuffle after Juan Soto has been out. Guys, a game is going on. Like, we are 2 batters after Soto. Who cares if Soto's shuffling or not?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Well, let's not get you too heated, my friend. I
Yeah.
know you're probably gonna get a lot more pissed off if we keep talking about ESPN's broadcast. But I know the series against the Dodgers didn't go as well as you wanted to, but you guys did salvage the series against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
What went wrong? I guess in those
Friday
first two
night was
games,
just
or
a fluke. Like Friday was a weird game to begin with. We had the weird rule with like the balls got to contact you because Soto and Tyrone Taylor collide into each other. That's just a quirky baseball rule for the 1800s that like they had to put in because there's this one guy that like did it, and now it bit us. You know what? It's one of those things. It's a 1 in a million chance. Of course, it happens to the Mets. I digress. We had the rain delay, which cost us to lose Griffin Canning. So we had to go to the bullpen, and the Dodgers are really good against bullpen pitching. We still took them to extra innings. I think we took them to 13 extra innings, 13 innings. So, you know what? Could have won on Friday, gave him a good fight, responded greatly on Saturday. David Peterson, I mean, this guy has completely turned it around since he was pitching on a torn labrum in his hip. He's like, yeah, I couldn't twist my body the right way. It's like, why did no one flag this sooner? Like, ever since that surgery, he's been a completely different pitcher. He's been the first round pick that we want him to be. And frankly, he is the ace of this Mets staff. He is the face of the staff. Like, you can make the arguments about Kodai Senga as the better numbers, but if you watch Senga pitch, it's different. Senga will put a lot of guys on. He's a very big, like, with his forkball pitch. His forkball, while nasty and very cool, I love his ghost fork. It goes out of the zone. It's designed to go out of the zone, and a batter's supposed to chase it. So if you're facing a team that's very, disciplined at the plate, they're not going to go chase that pitch. It's going to put guys on. Now, thankfully, Senga has been able to pitch around it and get out of those tight spots, but you're always watching it put, two guys on an inning. With David Peterson, it's dominance. It's, get guys out. 7 2/3 inning when we needed him to go. He just brings us. There's no like true ace, and there's no guy like a Matt Harvey attitude. Like, I'm going to take this ball and just shove it, like how Skubal has, how Paul Skeens has. But the closest guy the Mets have is Peterson. So I think Peterson is the tone setter of this rotation. He's the guy to kind of get things going. And then the offense is doing just enough. That's all that matters. But with, took 2 or 3 against the Dodgers, hopefully that kind of gets us back on the right track because we have been playing, we were 2-4 on the road trip, came back to Citi Field, beat them, won a tight game against the White Sox yesterday, which any Met fan could have told you that was exactly how that game was going to play out. We had Adrian Hauser as a former Met. And that's what former Mets do to the Mets, all right? If the Mets have players like that, they will always come back and dominate against us. It doesn't matter if they're a superstar, if they're a scrub, no matter what. When it comes to Mets returning to Citi Field to play the Mets, they always destroy us. So I wasn't surprised, but the team didn't say die. Soto, Lindor got the big hits when they were needed, and they were just sack flies, but they drove the run in. So, you know what? Past Adrian Hauser game, we got the White Sox with 2 more, the Rockies this weekend. Let's, beat up on these guys. I'm expecting the Mets to go 5-1 over these next 6 games, and anything less would be embarrassing, unless it's 4-2 and it's a close game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys are 1.5 games behind the Phillies for first place in the NL East, so not too big of a deficit. But it's a long season, so
it's 100 games left. The Mets didn't get good till June last year.
Long way to go. Yeah, so
I think Mets 2024 is why a lot of Mets fans aren't getting overly concerned. Like, there's a group of Mets fans that are like I had a guy on Twitter saying the Mets were a bad team. I'm like, you are just not watching, sir. You are an idiot. He's like, in what stat do the Mets have better than any NL team besides pitch to go 5 innings? I'm like, all right, you're just not watching, dude. Like, this is a good team. The offense is underperformed, but the bullpen's great. The starting rotation's been fantastic. Like, this team will even out. You are a moron. Regardless, this is a really good baseball team. I completely lost my train of thought because just thinking about that whole argument with them. But there's a group of Mets fans that will say the sky is falling no matter what. But there's also, like, I think the more rational people that are like, all right, we're in a slump right now, but we have well overperformed where we should be. We will be fine. So, let's get fat. Let's get fat against the Rockies. We play them again next week 2. So I like where the Mets are right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the offensive categories. I mean,
it's not great, but like it's not terrible.
You're above average. Like it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, and that's out without guys like Vientos had a slow start. Soto hasn't broken out the way he has. Beatty is just starting to get hitting. Acuna's kind of hit a slow start. Lindor and Alonso are just sort of now starting to break out of slumps. Nimmo's underperformed. If all those guys get going, this will be a top 10 offense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And guys like Soto and Vientos and Acuna are too good not to struggle like this.
Mm-hmm. And more important, even when the offense will get it going, it's only going to get hotter. The weather's going to get even better.
Yeah, so did a ball on Saturday night, which I have no idea. Still do not know how it's not a grand slam. Every metric you could look at that ball told you that ball should be in the seats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the offense is only going to get better, man. Right now, this pitching staff is phenomenal. They lead the league with a 2.78 ERA, which is insane. It's been insane what the Mets pitching staff has done as a whole, whether it's the bullpen or the starting pitching. Because let's be honest, that's like the only concern that you had this season, right? Was how the
starting pitching,
yeah, and well, they've remedied all your worries. And so much. more.
Senga and Peterson, like I said, are the top 2. You got Holmes and Canning kind of solidifying the middle, and that 5th spot. Well, Sean Manaea is starting to throw. Frankie Montas is on a rehab asylum in Brooklyn. He'll be back in 30 days. And then we have Paul Blackburn around the corner. We got Tyler McGill kind of still there. So, when Manaea comes back, that's going to be like the face of the rotation. Oh, we have a 3-headed monster.
Yeah, big fans of Montas and Blackburn for what they did with the A's, especially Blackburn. We'll love watching Blackburn play for us.
You might be able to have him back soon because he's not going to have a spot in this rotation.
Thank God we could use him because our pitching staff is trash over here. In Sacramento, trash. Thank God the Phillies took care of business against them. Screw them. Freaking tired of A's in this stupid stadium. So I might get pissed if we keep talking about the A's, so I'm gonna just move on here. But otherwise, my friend, anything else about the Mets by chance, or
nothing else right now. Just it's kind of the easy part of the schedule right now. Just get fat against these teams.
It's only going to get easier. So you mentioned the White Sox for a couple more games. The Rockies are next. You guys are going to LA afterwards for a 4-game set. But then you go to Colorado and then Washington and then Tampa Bay with the Nationals and Rays being back home at Citi Field. So it's going to be a very easy schedule for this next couple weeks or so.
Yeah.
And then
a good chance the guys will start getting going.
Oh yeah, and if the Phillies do falter, that's your chance to just keep going up the standings and all those things. So yeah, we will revisit.
It's almost like you can't determine an entire season based off a couple weeks of play.
Wow! Newsflash. We will revisit the Mets on Thursday, and hopefully by then we will have seen them sweep the White Sox, who are freaking terrible.
Not as bad as the Rockies.
That is true.
Do not have 10 wins.
We are 50. Yeah, we are 50 games in the year, and that is. I think the league needs to step in. They need to do something. Point. Like really, 9-45.
We're almost in June, and they still haven't gotten 10 wins.
Someone needs to step in. They have a negative 173 run differential. Holy cow! They're 2-8 in the last 10 games, so I guess they're no excuse. I'm sorry, no.
The closest team to them is the White Sox, and they have 17 wins. They have 8 more wins.
Holy crap! They could technically still
almost have double the wins they have.
Hey, I'm just saying they're one hot streak away. The White Sox. From possibly contending for a wild card spot. It's not over yet. It's not over.
No, I mean, yeah, sure.
Wait,
a lot of teams are gonna have to fall apart in front of them, but yeah.
Oh, never mind. I was looking at the White Sox. I got the two teams confused. Yeah, they need a lot of help. They are 22 games back of a wild card spot. Never, no.
Yeah, no. The Rockies.
What are they gonna do? Pull a 20-game winning
streak? The Rockies are eliminated from postseason contention on May 1st. It's never happened before.
Me and my friend, we decided to in video game terms, commit suicide and play with them online.
Why would you ever do that to yourself? There's no one to play with on that team.
Listen, Linda. Okay, we were just trying to see if you could win with this trash team. Newsflash. Okay, look, the pitching was not that bad. Herman Marquez was pretty good. It's just when we got into that bullpen, and then things fall apart from there. Plus, they suck as an offense. Brendan Doyle is the only good. He was batting leadoff, which makes sense because no one else could on that Rockies team. He's the only good hitter on that team. Everyone else was straight garbage. So we lost that. We swore we would never play with the Rockies ever again.
I play with the Rockies every night on my franchise.
Because you've rebuilt.
We made the playoffs.
So do you play like all the, or do you simulate some games?
I simulate most. I play I probably play like 50 games. Okay. But I do player lock is what I do.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do. I don't do franchise. I mean, for franchise, what I do is I create my own player, and then I'll only play the games that I start as pitcher. Because I don't really like the road to the show. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I like to. There's times where like I do franchise. I create my own player. I play for the A's, which I low key hate because the stadium is so trash in that game and in real life. But I'll play as my own player whenever I'm starting. But I'm a two-way player, so I can hit too. So I'll play as like a batter, and then I'll play as some of the other batters in the A's, and then I'll simulate. Most of the game. Yeah. So it's fun. I haven't played that recently. I played a lot of 2K, a lot more. I will say so. I'm a shooting guard for the Raptors.
Oh,
yeah, because I was gonna play for the Lakers, but I'm like, no, they have Luka and LeBron. I want to be somewhere where they.
Well, you can't be. You want the big three. You want me to part of the music, man?
No, I want to be where like
you can replace Austin Reed's spot in the real big three.
No, that's my guy. I would never replace him. I want to go to a team where like they just suck, and the Raptors do suck.
The Raptors suck.
They don't got a shooting guard.
No argument there.
Actually, before we talk about our other headlines, from around the sports world, did you know how there's trades at the deadline? So obviously the Luka trade was like the main thing our main trade of the deadline last year. Literally, Brandon Ingram got traded from the Pelicans to the Raptors, and I swear to God, no one blinked an eye. No one said
a thing. No one cares about the Raptors,
No, he literally got traded.
Not even Canada cares about the Raptors. They play the same time the Maple Leafs are. They don't care.
Well, they used to when Kawhi was there. But
that was the only time Canada's ever cared about the Raptors.
I heard.
Outside of that, basketball takes place when hockey season is. We'll let you know.
I could count the number of times on my hand how many times Ingram and the Raptors trade was mentioned. That's how they didn't even talk about it too much, and for good reason. I see he was injured and everything like that, but still, like he's when healthy, he is a pretty good scorer who can score on all three levels, and literally no one talked about it because no one cares about the freaking Raptors. So granted, that's why I went there, and I'm doing pretty good for myself. And by the way, the O Canada anthem is catchy as heck. He got emotional yesterday when I was playing 2K and I heard that song. I was closing my eyes and I felt like I was there.
The national anthem is catchy to you.
Hey, I mean, shoot, I was in the moment too. I almost shed a tear. I ain't gonna lie. I know it's just a video game. I was just having fun. But anyways, as we shift towards our post game segment here, let's start with the NHL before we get into some college football talk. This is kind of more of a segment for you than me, but as of this time. Oilers are up 2-1 in a series against the Stars in the West. And in the East, the Hurricanes stay alive after a 3-0 win over the Panthers, but the Panthers are still up 3-1.
That was the Hurricanes' first win in the conference finals since, I believe, 2007. They had lost 15 straight conference finals games before that win. So, yeah, this series is over.
Hey, at least they won.
Oklahoma City being over, that series was over.
This is their result. This is a courtesy win by
that was like, oh, that's like when you're playing with like a toddler and like you lose on purpose. That's what the Florida Panthers did.
Yeah, they'll take care of business in Game 5.
We want to win our home building. We want to win in our own building.
So I feel like the more interesting series is the Oilers and Stars.
100%.
So what can you tell us about that series? Oilers are up 2-1, but are the Stars going to be able to come back, or what are we looking at here?
So I think the Stars are definitely able to come back. They are a super dangerous team. Look, the Oilers are built for two players, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. If those guys are performing, the team's going to do good. The Stars are built are I think one of the more well-rounded teams in the NHL. All right, they have Jason Robertson. They have Mikko Rantanen, who they just traded and locked up. They have Wyatt Johnson. They have a very nice core of forwards. They got back Mikko Hirschel, a defenseman, and they have Jake Ottinger in goal. Ottinger, if he can just stand on his head and be the goalie we see in the series against the Avalanche and the first round of the playoffs, they will be fine. I truly expect the Stars team, even though they're down by 2-1, to still win this series.
All right. And then, Hurricanes, Panthers, nothing.
It's over.
Nothing
it's
much,
over. It's the Panthers. The Panthers are kind of what I think most hockey teams are going to go for, which is to have like a scoring front, but have an edge to them. Like they have Brad Marchand, Matthew Tkachuk, who made headlines at the Four Nations tournament this year for the fights. They are a very gritty, hard-nosed team. That's where hockey's going to go to. We're having those guys that can both be good scorers and also have a little grit to them. Kind of like the American style of hockey, which is kind of becoming famous in the South. And I think that's what the Rangers are going to try to build this offseason. That's what everyone's saying, the Maple Leafs need to build. Like, that's going to be the trend in hockey now. It used to be about, like, speed and skill, which what the Penguins had. Now it's shifting back towards physicality, grittiness, 16-game players.
Okay. Yeah, I got my new favorite hockey team is the Utah Mammoth.
The Mammoth?
The Mammoth, yes, sir. New team, so that's going to be my new team moving forward. So, in terms of other hockey news, Team USA outlast Switzerland, and they won the Ice Hockey World title. First time in 92 years in this tournament. Holy
Huge
cow.
Win.
1933 was the last time. So, my parents weren't born. I wasn't born. You weren't born. Your parents weren't born.
World War II hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, that's when you know it's been a long time, my friend. But a 1-0 over Switzerland got the job done on Sunday. So, and shout out to
big win Team USA. Like I said, Team USA hockey, it's dominating. We just we came up short in the Four Nations, but we won back-to-back World Juniors. We got the IHHF. We got Olympics coming up very soon. That's going to be a very big Team USA. If we beat them, we're going to take our spots as the best hockey country in the world because we're right there. Sure. And we have developed a lot of good hockey talent over the past few years. And shout out to Team USA. It doesn't matter what team it is. The tributes to Jonathan Gaudreau, United States hockey as a whole should just retire 13 forever and put it on a patch on the jersey. Mm-hmm. Always, or on the helmet. Always remember 13. Which I've always thought is a nice tribute to a hockey player just cut short. Because he probably is on that team. If he's on the Blue Jackets definitely make the playoffs. If he's on Team USA for Four Nations, we win that tournament. It's just tragic. But shout out to them for keeping his memory and his legacy alive. And I think we'll continue to see that in the Olympics this upcoming year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that Four Nations, that hurts, man. Just seeing that live and
that was golden goal. That was for anyone that remembers. That was Sidney Crosby in 2010, the golden goal. That was golden goal 2.0 for USA hockey fans.
Hurt to see, man. I tell you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So by Thursday, we should see the Panthers wrap things up against the Hurricanes.
I think the Stars and Edmonton go tonight for Game 4. I think Stars take it, and they'll go back to their home building tied 2-2.
All right. We'll keep an eye on that series, and we'll talk more about that on Thursday, my friend. Other news, Caitlin Clark is going to be out for the next 2 weeks with a quad injury, so praise her. Hope she gets better soon. Hopefully the Fever can manage without her. And then
I guess Sophia Cunningham, they're good.
Sorry, I'm thinking about the segment.
Oh, no, that's exactly why I brought it up.
Apparently, that's not true, according to what she said.
No!
Of course. Okay. Oh, you good? Hey,
yeah, I just punched my chair and almost broke my finger.
Listen. Just because she says it's not true doesn't mean it's not true. Like, let's be honest.
True.
What else are you gonna say?
True.
Like,
OJ said he didn't do it. That's not true. OJ wrote a book saying he did it.
Yeah, he had. Have you ever seen his Family Guy cameo?
Yes, the Family Guy episode. That's a great
Towards
episode.
The end,
when he convinces everyone how he's an innocent person, and then he said, "Oh, I guess he did do it."
It's like a happy ending. Everyone's around him, like everyone's like kumbaya, and he just stabs 3 people and just dips.
Oh, I guess he did do it, and they all chases him again.
Freaking Peter, man, I tell you. I guess it's 2 more headlines. Whatever his name is for the NFL, not the NFL, but the USA flag football quarterback.
Yeah,
something you said.
Where he's coming from.
Okay, I do. And for those of you who don't know, the last name is Doucette. He is the USA flag football starting quarterback at this point in time. He was complaining basically about how he feels like flag football players are not given too much of a chance to compete to have a spot in the Olympics or to compete for the USA in the Olympics. Look, sir, you are 5'7". You throw in a way that I've never seen a quarterback throw. I don't care if that's how flag football players throw as a whole. I know I didn't throw like that when I played back in the day as a kid. Not that it, obviously a big difference there, but it's not that different. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I swear to God, if you're starting for us, we lost. This is why your mentality.
This is why you're playing flag football.
Yes. Your mentality of like y'all should be given a chance is why if you guys started for us in the Olympics, we would lose. We would not win the gold. We're not going. Okay, we might win the bronze if we got lucky. That is why we are sending NFL players to compete for the U.S. I would rather have. God, I'm gonna hate saying this. I'd rather have Daniel Jones start for Team USA over you because at least my quarterback played in the NFL, won a playoff game. He might stay down his first read, but like he'll
against the competition that might work because they still might not know.
Yeah, because it might work. I'm just saying, you could be on the roster, Doucette. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Like, sure, you or any of your teammates, if they make the roster, great, because not the whole roster's not going to be all NFL players. Let's be honest, because of stuff like that. But I don't expect you to start any of them to start. Like, we're going to have the NFL players starting, and then maybe you guys come in as
they're going to be like in high school sports when, like, you're up by 40 and, like, the team manager goes in or, like, the water boy. They get the water boy a rep. That's what it's going to be like.
Or unless you're on the other side, if you're down by 40 and you have to tell your coach if you can go in and he says yes. That happened to me, actually. Last game of my senior year. Down by 40 to our crosstown rivals, and coach did not put me in whatsoever. So with like 5 minutes left, I'm like, I tapped him on the shoulder. I'm like, coach, when we go in? I was like, oh yeah, for sure. I'm like, nice. You forgot about me. So I went in there, and yeah, I don't know. Kind of hurt the soul, low key. Forgot about me. Yeah. I will always remember the moment. It was our senior night. First game my mom ever went to support me. Shout out to my mom. Love you, moms. Senior night. It was senior night, and then it was against a team called Tokay. They were the worst team in the league, and our coaching staff was like, "All right, starters, like y'all do your thing in the first half, so we put the backups in the second half." And I was so hyped because I was a backup, obviously. We had 2 great starters in front of me at running back, in James and Thomas. So shout out to those guys. Hope they're doing well. Yeah, that never freaking happened. We were down by 30 in the fourth to the worst team in the league, and I got in as a corner, as always, which I hated. I'm sorry. I don't mean to disrespect any corners out there. I freaking hate playing corner. I hate it. I'm sorry. Yeah. I love playing running back. That's fun as hell. I like playing offense. Corner? Oh, hell no. I hate it. I really do. So I want to just go off topic. We've got a lot of off-topic topics today, but it's all part of the fun. in terms of one last highlight before we go to pickle, there is a new college football playoff model starting this year.
Yep.
We're going to a new straight seeding model, apparently. So that means that the top 4 teams will be the top 4 teams, regardless of conference winners. And those top 4 teams are in a first round bye. The 5 highest ranked conference champs will be in the playoffs regardless and will be guaranteed spots in that 12-team playoff.
So they still have automatic bids. It's just not automatic buys.
Correct. So top 4 teams are top 4 teams, regardless of what conference you come from. So if the top 4 teams are all from the SEC, they'll get the top 4 seeds. Last year, we saw each conference winner get a top, one of those top 4 spots. But it'll be different this time around. So, many thoughts on that, my friend, at all?
Notre Dame won again. Notre Dame's independence won again because we can still be independent and get a bye.
Correct.
Which we couldn't get before. So now there's no incentive to join the conference for us.
Yeah, really. I think last year, if
we'd be 5, we would have been 5.
You guys. Oh, okay, gotcha. And last year
we would have been playing Clemson at home.
Oh, yeah, ooh.
It would have been a good game, but I think we still would have won.
Yes, would have won. Yeah. I will always remember the first play. What's the first play? The Jeremiah Love one?
That was the first play of the second drive.
Oh, man.
Because we had a first drive with 3 and out.
Oh, no, back at the 2
No, not 3 and out. Right, Leonard got picked off. And then Indiana drove down the field. And Xavier Watts saved us with the interception, and then they handed off to Love, and Love took it to the house.
I feel like when Leonard do that pick, you're like, okay, where is it? Where's my drinks?
Yeah, I'm like, all right, geez, it's gonna happen again, isn't it?
And then you see Jeremiah Love just sprint down the side.
Yeah, like, all right, we're good, we're back in, we're locked, let's go.
Yeah, I will make another intro video, and that run will be part of that intro video. I will say, that run was iconic. First touchdown in the college football playoff ever. Or in terms of the 12-team playoff, and that was the first touchdown.
The first touchdown of the 12-team era.
Memorable, no doubt about it, my friend. All righty. That'll do it for our post-game segment. As we move on to our favorite game ever, which is pickle. Oh, when football season comes back, we should do the
Weddle.
Weddle. That's the one.
Yeah,
that we'll be doing. Once football season begins back up.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do too much NBA. Oh, we haven't done it. What's the NBA version? I forgot the NBA version is. But I digress. Alrighty, my friend. Who is the first player you would like to guess?
Let's go David Peterson.
David Peterson. Yes, sir. Playing quite well recently.
Mm-hmm.
What's in the NL East?
NL East lefty and American.
Okay. Who's a lefty on the Phillies? Harper. Yes.
I was gonna say, how old's Bryce Harper?
Yeah, I'm pretty it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Philly!
Oh, no, damn it! Okay, so...
I'm trying to think of who. I'll obviously I'll guess after you.
So he's a 29, so...
28, 27.
31, so he's 28 or 27.
Or 30. No, not even 30 yet. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not 30 because he'd been 32. We've been lit up.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. Alex Bohm. No. Real Muto's what? 31.
Mm-hmm. But he doesn't bet. He bets righty.
He bets righty.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God! Is it Castellanos?
No, he bets righty too. He bets those righty.
What is the Castellanos?
Can you think of the other slugger?
Oh, is it? Is it
no, wait, no.
No, he's too old.
Oh, never mind. I know who it is. I'll wait though.
Schwarber's too old. Castellanos and right. It's not Real Muto. I'm trying to think. Oh, is it Trey Turner?
Nah, he bets righty too.
Damn. Bones at third. Who's in left for you guys? Who's in center?
Oh, you're getting hotter. He's
got to be an outfielder. But God, who's in left and who's in right for the Phils? I mean, if you know it, just take it.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Max Kepler. I think.
Yes.
Yes. Watch me be so freaking confident, and it's still gonna be wrong. Crap.
He's German. He's born on a military base.
Okay, so
how old is Schwarber?
Yeah, good question. How old is he?
Nah, too old.
Oh, wow. By the way, big series coming up at the Phillies against the Braves. Big series coming up.
Castellanos.
28, 27.
You sure Castellanos bats right?
I swear to God he bats right. On my life, he bats right. Okay, let's go to the order. All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Schwarber, turn.
I said Turner.
Oh, my God.
Ah.
Duh. By the way, love this kid. Love Bryson Stott, man. Love him to death. He is. I will always remember this dude walked up to the plate with his walk-up song, and I'll be A-OK.
Yeah, oh, God.
Everyone was singing along. I know you did. But
it's like how you guys hate my girl.
No, I don't. No,
most Phillies fans do.
I will sing along myself. I will wear a Phillies hat to that game, and I will sing along. I will proudly do so. That's a catchy song. What was the other song that he mixes it up with?
Ain't a Mountain High Enough from the Remember Titans.
That one.
No, that's great. Song. Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans. That's great. I love that song.
I get that he wants to mix it up, but I would stick with the My Girl. I don't know. That's just my preference. But yeah, it was Marlins Phillies wild card series. They were all singing his walk up song, and then Bryson Stott just hits a grand slam in the right field. The best video I've seen was there was no commentary. It was on ESPN, so thank God the video. So the best video to watch of this grand slam was with no commentary. You could just hear the fans just going nuts. God, thank God I'm a Phillies fan. I love when the Phillies get into the postseason and the fans go freaking crazy. The A's, on the other hand, good luck filling that stadium.
When the A's were good in 13, that home atmosphere was crazy.
Oh, yeah, when they're at the Coliseum.
When you guys traded for John Lester, that was crazy.
Oh, my God, I remember those days. We went all in that year.
Yeah, you traded Cespedes for Lester. That was that to this day. That's one of the craziest trades I've ever seen in my life.
No, there was another guy. Oh my God, it was 2013? You said, right?
John Lackey was the other guy.
Yeah, there was that guy. Holy crap! Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm getting too.
Was that also the year to trade for Jeff Samardzija?
I'm trying to look right now.
I think so. I think you got Samardzija, Lackey, and Lester at that deadline.
2013.
We lost it. The year I might be off year wise. It could be 2014 too. No, 2013. No, 2014. Do 2014.
Yeah, I think it was 14. Yeah.
It's 24. It's 2014. 2014.
Yeah, we went all out. Jeff Samardzija,
Lackey, and Lester.
I can't find Lackey. Am I blind? Yes, I am. Lackey's on this roster.
Unless John. Oh no, John Lackey got traded to the Cardinals. He was also on the Red Sox. Traded the Red Sox.
There you go.
That's where I'm confusing it. Lester and Lackey were traded from the Red Sox. Lester went to the A's. Lackey went to the Cardinals.
There you go.
And,
good times.
Samardzija was traded from the Cubs.
Man, look at this starting lineup. Derek Norris, Brandon Moss, Eric Sokar, Jet Lowry, Josh Donaldson, Cespedes, Coco Crisp. That's a name. That is a name. Josh Reddick, Alberto Gallaspo. Holy crap. What a name. God, I remember
the John Lester A's trade. Like, see any of them do anything.
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's take a look. Or yeah, you got me.
I got Do you just have like a full trade? Like I don't I just want this is what happens.
The John Lester full trade.
Here we go. John Lester and Johnny Gomes was traded to the Oakland Athletics for Yoenis Cespedes and a 2015 Comp B pick.
That was a bargain.
Yeah.
Oh, Cespedes was good.
Well, Cespedes was young and a superstar at that point.
Yeah, I think he just fell off like that.
Well, he played for the Mets and got hurt. Is what happened.
It
is the amazing season in 2015. Actually a really good season in 2016 as well. And then 17 through everything else was horrific.
Gotcha. I miss the old times with the A's. I honestly just miss all of my sports teams have had success in the early, a while ago to be exact. Not these days are just all trash. I swear to God, if my Giants if they disappoint me again this year, I'm gonna lose my crap. But anyways, this show will not be fun to host. It
wasn't fun last year when the Giants were like, all right, time to talk about the Giants 30-0 loss to the Buccaneers again.
the amount of time we spent on New York was so short as the season went on. It was yeah.
Like, all right, they lost again.
We lost again. Jones sucked. All right. Anyways, another NFL news, but all righty, my friend. That'll do it for this episode, season 3, episode 9 of this podcast. You can follow us on social media at Nathan_124, Brian at Brian PT1016. You can follow us on all podcast pages at 3rd and 10 Pod on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. And you can follow, or you can find the other company. Oh my God! You can find Belly Up's other podcasts and articles at bellyupsports.com. And yeah, we'll be back on Thursday to talk more NBA and NHL, and maybe some other football stuff, depending on, if anything comes up, which it likely won't, let's be honest, but you never know. Maybe some major NFL headlines comes up. But for Brian, I'm Nate. Thank you guys so much, as always, for watching and listening. If you got this far, make sure to like and subscribe. We appreciate y'all's support. And we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!